And so, it was a really big emphasis this week that, regardless of, after halftime, before halftime, whenever we had the opportunity to put points on the board, we had to. And so, I think we did a pretty good job of that today. Obviously there was that one drive. Tommy trusted me twice, and I didn't come down with either of them. So, I'm gonna have to, get better, strive to get better.
You could have threw better balls.
No, you couldn't. And so I'm really proud of the guys. I think we executed really well. Overall today, and hopefully we can keep building on it.
No fight, just keep going. No quitting. Well, no quitting. Keep fighting. All good. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Guys, Tommy and Deuce were saying it was an emotional night having Ethan back with the team this week. What was that like for you guys, just having him with the team before the game, at practice, and then during the game as well?
Yeah, it kind of meant everything for the squad, knowing that obviously everybody knows what happened to Ethan. So it's just a blessing, man, just to have him around the guys with the team and just getting that victory for him. It means everything for the guys, me personally, and I just know it means everything for the coaches. You know what I'm saying? All the adversity he had to face, he's back here with us, and it was just great. It's a good feeling.
For me, I think me and Ethan's relationship, it go way back previous to Florida State. To just see how far he's come in his process and his journey, just to see him continue to take steps forward, to see him smile, and just for him to be here and see us get a win, I think it's definitely refreshing for us and for him, just with his journey. So I'm happy we're able to pull it off for him.
For both you guys, what was the emphasis in practice this week, the messages from coaches?
Yeah, just to, focus on our 111 and just continue to keep fighting. That's all we can do, and that's what we harping on all throughout the whole week. Just focusing on our jobs individually, and it put us in the best position to be successful tonight.
I think offensively, pretty much saying just focus on our job and just getting stuff to translate into the game. Throughout the week, throughout practice, we practice a lot of different things just to get those things to translate from the meetings to practice to the game. It's pretty much key for us.
Randy, you guys offensively very efficient night. I know you had, I guess, a couple of missed opportunities to miss field goal, but in general, you guys moved the ball real well. How was this week at practice? Do you feel like the offense is kind of starting to find itself?
Yeah, I think we're definitely starting to find ourselves. We've always been a pretty explosive offense. Statistically, we always do numbers, but I think we just leaned on each other. I think we had a couple guys go down early, but that didn't really affect us much. So we kept the ball on the ground. We were able to move it. We're pretty much successful on early downs, and that really helped us throughout the game.
For both you guys, Deuce is closing in on 1,000 yards receiving. I guess what makes him such a special player for you guys to target?
Just me being an offensive guy, I seen the work he's put in, previous to the season. Back in January when we both first got here, he was first guy here, last guy leaving. Just to see the amount of time, the amount of balls that guy has caught throughout this year it's really translating. I can say I knew this was gonna happen. You know what I mean? Just like I say, to see all the work he put in, like he's here day and night, man. And he's taking care of his body. He's doing these things to put himself in position to be who he is. So, yeah, kudos to Deuce.
Earl, for you, when you look at Jerry, not just the performance he had tonight, but overall throughout the season, what have you seen from him just at defensive back? Because you guys are so crucial back there in the secondary.
Yeah, man. Jerry, he comes to practice every day with the same intent and the same energy every single day. Being that he's not the biggest dude out there on the field, that's what I love about him. Jerry's really a dog and a great football player, man. He approaches the day, the same way, week in, week out. He's the first one in there, last in the league. He takes care of his body as well. So, it's kudos to him, man. And it finally showed up for him tonight in a big way. And it definitely helped us, come out victorious tonight.
We have time for 2 more going to Ira.
Earl, you seem to love when the students do the thing with the shirts. Why does that get you guys so excited? And I guess speak to the way the students have supported you guys this whole season.
Yeah, man. It's just cool seeing those guys pumped up out there. And I don't know what level that is, but it's kind of cool just seeing the boys swing the tide and stuff. Like, it gets all the guys fired up on the sideline as well. So it's like, I appreciate all the fans, out there supporting us, especially to the students. I appreciate all of y'all. And just keep fighting for us. We're going to keep fighting for y'all. I appreciate that. We appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Sean.
Appreciate y'all.
Pretty good. I appreciate everybody being here. To start off, you're proud of our guys. Just the way that they went out and competed tonight. The way they prepared this week. Just the attitude, the approach. The overall mindset. I mean, it was a resilient week for how they how they poured into each other and just wanting to go out and one, just get a win, and then make sure we sent the seniors out, the right way. With this last home game, in this season, our guys have, they care so much, and they really do. They pour their hearts into it. There's been, obviously some ups and some some downs throughout, just the way that we performed, and even that showed up at times tonight, where it wasn't a a great game, in regards to our performance, but those guys, they just continued to battle, and defensively we were able to create 2 takeaways. You had the 2 fourth down stops. We did what we needed to do to be able to get off the field and limit them in some of those opportunities. Offensively, we probably left some points out there on the field, but when we needed a big play, we came into the second half, or really the last drive of the first half that we had. Then getting into the second half and being able to go put touchdowns on the board was big. Jake had early miss and came back and was able to make a couple kicks. Special teams showed up big with Jalen Lucas, getting out and sparking a couple drives with big returns, and you just felt all parts of the team working together, and that's what you want to see. Like I said, I'm proud for our players. It was great having Ethan back yesterday at practice. I mean, it was an emotional time for everybody. And obviously, seeing him, lead us in the legacy walk, today into the stadium, being there in the locker room after the game, and just the time, with this team. I mean, he means so much to us. And yesterday at the end of practice, I asked him if he had anything to say, and it was 2 words. He said, "Go win," and we were able to get that done for him, and just for this team, and so we got a short week ahead. And, it's going to be quick back at it. We'll be rolling as coaches in the morning. We'll have the players come in tomorrow night. But they needed tonight. And, I'm definitely grateful for them. And, for our fans, it was a great atmosphere tonight. I don't know. It was a packed stadium. And, it was a great atmosphere, to be able to be a part of this last game at home in the 25 season. But all our fans, definitely appreciate them for being here, and just for being able to create that home field advantage.
Coach, you touched on what the last couple of days have meant to you guys with Ethan. Tonight, when he got shown on the Jumbotron, it was one of the loudest cheers in the night. We saw your sideline, Virginia Tech sideline was giving him an applause. The support that he's received, not only from within the program, but externally across the board, and seeing that, what has that meant to you guys and for him?
Well, I mean, he's such an incredible young man. And, obviously it was an awful tragedy that happened, to him. And, you never know why. And, but nothing that he did. It was just, really wrong place, wrong time. And, but he is the one that, he lives the effects of it. And, he has fought, throughout this process. No, I mean, not once has he ever said anything, negative about the situation, other than he was going to work. And, I've talked to him a lot. I FaceTime him a good amount, and most of the time I'm FaceTime him. He's in the middle of a workout or his rehab, and he's got sweat going down his forehead. He goes, "Coach, they're pushing me." I said, "It's all right, buddy. You're built for it." He goes, "Yes, I am. Yes, I am." And he's going to do all that he desires to do, because of what's in his heart, and just the passion that he has, and you feel his spirit just around anybody that's around him. And he just is a great teammate, a great friend, and somebody I love deeply, just for all that he stands for.
Deuce is closing in on a 1,000-yard receiving season. You've always spoken about him as a pro, but how impressive is it what he does on a weekly basis for what you?
Yeah, I mean, he just continues to show up, and he is he's a great young man that loves to work. And then he came into my office on Monday, and he said, "Coach, what else do you need from me? What else do you want from me? I want to help this team, and I want to be the best I can possibly be." And I challenged him. I said, every day's got to be your championship game. Every day, you got to be willing to be the example. One thing I said, and my favorite play of him tonight wasn't any of the catches. He hit a big block on one of the swing passes that we threw, and that's something I challenged him with. Man, I want to see you play without the ball in your hands, and man, he showed up. He probably had his best celebration after the block, and that's where it's easy to get to see and celebrate, some of the stat line things, which, I mean, he's on pace and doing wonderful things and, answering the call when we need him. But, somebody that cares, deeply about his teammates and wants to see their success, wants our success, and, is ready to do whatever he needs to make that happen. And, looking forward to him continuing to grow, in these last regular season games as we continue to build for what's ahead.
You mentioned there were some missed opportunities, but it seemed like for the first time in a while, like every phase kind of contributed, as you said, the kickoff returns, turnovers on defense. Does this give you a glimpse of, or do you think it can give the guys a glimpse of what it can be when that all kind of comes together?
Yeah, I mean, the capability is there, and we've seen it, in a handful of the games that we played where you see all three phases that are, they don't have to be perfect, and then you're not going to see a perfect, your game. But I mean, when you are complimentary, when you're there to support, I know your defensively, we didn't get off the field well enough on third downs, but when they had to answer the call on a couple of fourth downs, when they had to answer the call, by creating takeaways, that's huge. And then to see offense be able to respond and go and put us in position, that's what you want. You want to see a team that feeds off of each other. And, I thought they did that well. I mean, I've got a lot of confidence in what's ahead. And I do believe in the growth that this team is experiencing, but also what they're willing to put themselves through to go and get better. And, I know as we talked, in this week in the media availability, I talked about what Sunday night looked like. Well, that was real. I mean, it was their choice, and they came out after a disappointing game a week ago, and they with everything they had. Saturday night was probably one of the better. Or a Sunday night. I mean, it was one of the better Sunday night practices we've ever had here, and it was a team making a choice just to control what they could control, and that was the moment. And that's really what we need to see throughout the course of the games. That the offense does great, the defense does great, special teams. Well, if one of them have a misstep, right? And you control what you can control, and you go do your job. You focus on your one play, and if we do that, man, I think great things can happen. And tonight we played really disciplined. I mean, I think we only had one penalty tonight. I thought our guys, they were. You could see even in some moments where you could have went a different way. I mean, the things I asked them to do, I thought they did and did at a high level.
Hey, Mandel Desir has a sack in each of his last 4 games. How impactful is it seeing him grow and perform like this as a freshman?
No, I mean, he's definitely a young man that, just sky's the limit for. He's performing, continuing to grow in his confidence and into things that, he's even showing himself that he could do. There's still some other opportunities out there that he's gonna grow from, and but yeah, I mean he's got a chance to be a really special player. If he'll continue to progress and to learn the lessons of the good and the bad. But I'm really proud of him for the productivities that he has, and what we're seeing and his impact within this team.
With Ethan being here, the way you guys played, especially in the second half, the crowd being into it and being basically a sold-out game, do you allow yourself to, soak that up? Like how cool because winning in college football, as we all know, is hard. Do you allow yourself to enjoy these moments and soak it up?
Absolutely. And, I found myself there in the second half during one of the breaks. I mean, I stopped and looked around, and, Ethan's up, and I did. And, when the next play starts, it's back to it. But I mean, that's what I love. I love that about this place. I love that about college football in general, and just it mimics life. And you could sit there and you go through life and you can find every problem or every issue and everything that could go wrong, and you put all your focus on that, or you can just you pour everything that you have into going and growing and being better and make a positive impact on others that you're around, and being grateful for all the blessings that you have. And I mean, being here, representing this program, I mean, it is special. And you see the fan base, like you mentioned, I mean, it was some awesome atmosphere that second half. Our guys, I thought, definitely fed off that. We had a big third quarter, carrying that over into the fourth. But, I don't ever want to take it for granted, and I don't ever want to, not understand how big this experience is for all those players that stand on that sideline, and how big it is for all those fans that are sitting in the stands, because we do have a great responsibility to represent this place, and it was a great night to be able to do that.
Determination of not only wanting to walk again, but also wanting to play football again. Just what does that really kind of describe of how he is as an individual? Think about how when you recruited him, that he has that kind of determination.
Absolute no doubt that he will accomplish all that he puts his mind to, and he's led with the heart. And I mean, I remember going and watching him play in high school. And it was after, I got to watch him live, a few years back, and, he was one of those guys you just felt on the football field. And, your size, measurable speed, he's got some great qualities, but man, just the mentality of what he brought, he was not going to be denied. And, and from the day that he's been here, he brings that passion. And, even the night that, that he got shot. I mean, we're sitting there, and we just came off a big win. After each win, we celebrate our scout team players of the week, and and I swear to you, this is like he came into that practice that Sunday night, and man, he was so determined, because the first week he didn't get the scout team player of the week, and he goes, man, what do I got to do? What do I got to do? And it's funny, because the week prior you had a couple bad plays, and it said, man, you just keep. He goes, I know, I got it. And that Sunday night, it was everything that he was determined this week. Man, it was going to be his week to go get it done. And it's just his when you can bring all the passion, all the energy to be the best that you can be, then the circumstance you find yourself in is not going to define you. It's what you do through those circumstances that's going to just show the world what you're all about. And I hate what happened to Ethan Pritchard. Like, I mean, it should never happen to any person. But you watch him. If you need inspiration, you need motivation, you want to understand how to go about doing things in life, watch him. Because I know where he's going, I know what he's going to be able to accomplish, and he's an inspiration to me, and I just love the young man.
What is it about this group where they've just, even if things haven't gone well, they've been resilient and they keep fighting? Why do you think that is, I guess?
Because they care. I think we had a really, really good group that they are talented. They have great ability, but the thing that leads them is their heart. And I've said it throughout this season, and like I said, we've had disappointing results, but this is not a defeated football team. This is one that really does care about what they do, who they get to do it with, and they're willing to continue to fight and try to take the positive steps to showcase the best of them. And when you have those types of characteristics, you can accomplish great things. And but even just like through the course of life, I mean, there's gonna be ups and downs, and I'm excited to see their drive through the end of this regular season to watch them continue to ascend. And we got to go on the road this week, and that's something that obviously we've not played well on the road, and it's time for us to go get that done. And so I do believe that they'll answer the call, and excited for them, but also honored just to be able to coach this group. Two for one. Yes, sir.
The offensive line obviously had some things to deal with tonight. And then Jacob comes in, plays two different positions. I think Andre came in. just how they battle through that. And then also, could you give us an idea of what this week looks like with the short week?
Yeah, so I was really pleased and proud of, Rizzy came in, was able to, continue to showcase his versatility. He's been great for us this year, being able to come in and answer the call when his number was called, and then Otto getting in there. He's a guy I'm really excited about. And to be able to go in there and to do a good job on the plays that he had to where he had to answer the call. And I think we've got some young guys in that O-line group that are really they're practicing hard. They're working. They're developing. But we've got some great examples from older guys that have been playing. You go through 10 games of a regular season. I mean, your body's going to be bumps, bruises. You're going to feel all of it. But these guys, they're great competitors, and I thought they did some good things, and there's some talented guys on that defensive front that have given everybody problems, and to see that our guys were ready for the challenge and did some good things tonight. So this week will be. It's going to be a little bit different. We'll be back tomorrow as a coaching staff first thing in the morning. Kind of put this to bed quickly, and then it's all our focus is on NC State. We will meet tomorrow night. We'll have treatments in the morning for the players, but then we'll meet tomorrow night, kind of wrap up this game, and then jump right into to the primary focus for NC State this week, and then kind of abbreviated practice on Monday, and then we'll get after it pretty good there on Tuesday, and then just kind of. Essentially, we lose what Sunday is in a normal week, but we will modify it a little bit, just being this late in the season for our Tuesday practice, which will be on Monday. Kind of explain my whole normal Monday.